Good day everyone, so we are the Group 1 and today we'll be talking about one of the most important inventions that changed how we live, learn, and communicate, which is the World Wide Web. So every day we use the web to search for information, connect with other people, watch videos, or even attend online classes. But have you ever wondered how it all started? Or how it actually works? So in this discussion, we will explore what the World Wide Web is, its history, components, and how it evolved through Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. We'll also talk about the different types of websites that we use today. So by the end of our presentation, we hope that you will understand not just how the web functions, but also how it continues to shape our world and connect us in ways we never imagined. So sit back, listen, and join us as we dive into our topic. So before we begin our discussion, we have prepared a short motivational activity to make our topic more exciting. So it is called Guess the Logo. So in this activity, we will show you some logos of popular websites and online platforms. So all you have to do is to guess which website or app it represents. So let's see how many of you can recognize that. So are you guys ready? Okay, let's start our activity. Guess the logo. So here's our first logo. Can you see it? Can you guess what it is? If you answered Google Chrome, then you are correct. So it is a very popular web browser because it is fast, simple, and easy to use. Correct. So here's our second logo. Do you know what it is? Let's find out. If you answered Mozilla Firefox or Firefox, then you are correct. So this browser is known for being safe and secure when surfing the internet. Mozilla Firefox or Firefox, correct. Now, next, our third logo. So here's our third logo. Can you guess what it is? Yes, that's right. The logo is Opera. It is a fast browser that already has built-in ad blocker and free VPN for privacy. Again, it is Opera. Correct. So here's our fourth logo. Can you guess what it is? If you answered Safari, then you are correct. So it is the main browser for Apple devices like iPhones, MacBooks, and is known for its smooth performance. So again, it is Safari. So here's our fifth logo. Can you guess what it is? If you answer the Internet Explorer, then you are correct. So it is one of the first browsers that people used to explore the web before. So again, it is the Internet Explorer. Now lastly, for our last logo, can you guess what it is? So here's our last logo. Are you familiar with this one? Yes, so this logo is called the Microsoft Edge. So it is the new and improved version of the Internet Explorer, made to be faster and easier to use. Great job, everyone! It looks like you're all familiar with the browsers that help us explore the World Wide Web every day. So these browsers play a big role in how we access websites, search for information, and connect with others online. So now that we're all warmed up, let's move on to our main discussion. And to start, let's have our learning objectives. So here's our learning objectives. So by the end of the lesson, the students will able to first Identify and explain the different generations of the World Wide Web, which are Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. Second, show appreciation for the role of the World Wide Web by expressing how it helps connect people, share knowledge, and make daily life easier. And lastly, demonstrate their understanding of the World Wide Web and its different generations through a short quiz. Now, let's dive into our discussion. So the World Wide Web is now a big part of our daily lives. So it helps us connect with people from different places, share ideas, and get information instantly. So did you know that before, websites were very simple? So they only showed text and pictures. But now, we have modern and interactive websites where we can post, comment, watch videos, and even attend classes online. So by learning how the web has changed over time, we can better understand how technology keeps improving and making our world more connected and advanced. So now, let's dig deeper about the concept of World Wide Web. So what exactly does it mean? Where did it come from? And how does it actually work? So to answer these questions, let's explore the meaning and origin of the World Wide Web and how it all started. Before we move further, let's first understand what the World Wide Web really means. So the World Wide Web, or simply WWW, is a system that allows computers all over the world to exchange and share information through the internet. So it serves as a huge platform where people can connect, search for information, read news, watch videos, or even communicate with others, all with just a few clicks. So in short, it's what makes the internet useful and interactive for everyone. So the World Wide Web is made up of millions of web pages that contain texts, images, videos, and sounds. So you can think of it as a massive digital library filled with all kinds of information that people can access anytime and anywhere. To view these web pages, we use something called a web browser. So examples of these include the browsers that I have presented earlier, such as the Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Opera, and Microsoft Edge. So the browser helps us open, read, and explore websites easily, just like opening books in a library. So now, every piece of information we see on the web is called a web page. So a web page is like one page in a book, and when many web pages are connected together, they form a website. So each web page has a special address called a URL, which stands for Uniform Research Locator. So the URL acts like a home address, so it tells the browser exactly where to find a certain page on the internet. So for example, when we type www.google.com, then we are using Google's URL to visit its main page. Do you understand? So overall, the World Wide Web is not just about browsing or watching videos. So it is a system that connects people, ideas, and information across the globe. So it plays a big role in how we communicate, learn, and even work in today's modern world. So now that we understand what the World Wide Web is and how it works, it's also important to know where it all began. So the web that we use today didn't just appear overnight. It has gone through many changes and improvements over the years. So next, let's take a look at the history and the person who invented the World Wide Web. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist working at CERN or CERN, which is a European organization for nuclear research in Switzerland, came up with the idea of creating a system that would allow researchers to easily share and access information using computers. So at that time, information was stored on different computers and there was no simple way to connect them. However, Tim Berners-Lee wanted to make a web of information that anyone could reach from anywhere in the world. Then, in 1990, he successfully built the first version of the World Wide Web, which included a web browser, a server, and the first web page. So his invention became the foundation of how we use the internet today. So by 1992, the World Wide Web was officially made available to the public. So this was when people outside of CRN could finally use and explore the web themselves. So it was a huge breakthrough because it allowed ordinary users, not just scientists, to browse pages, view documents, and share ideas online. So this marked the start of the internet era as we know it, leading to the growth of millions of websites and online communities that connected people from all over the world. So before the World Wide Web, computers could only send or receive plain text. But Tim Berners-Lee's creation made it possible to transfer text, images, and graphics all at once through web pages. So this meant that users could now read articles, view pictures, and see designs on the same page, making the internet more engaging and easier to use. So this innovation also helped transform the web into visual and interactive platform, not just a space for information, but also for creativity, communication, and entertainment. So it became a powerful tool for education, business, and social connection, shaping the digital world we live in today. So overall, the invention of the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee completely changed the way people share and access information, marking the beginning of a new digital age that continues to shape our world today. So that's it for my part. Thank you so much for listening. Now, I'll be giving the floor to the next reporter, Justine Monleon, to continue the discussion.
So good day everyone. So thank you for that, Miss Margot. So before we start our formal discussion, allow me to introduce myself first. I am Justine Monleon, one of the members of the Group 1. So now let's discuss about the structural components of the World Wide Web. So the World Wide Web, or WWW, operates through several interconnected structural components that make it possible for the users to access, share, and interact with digital information. So these components include browsers, servers, caches, and the internet infrastructure itself. So now let's discuss about what is web browser. So web browser, it is a software application that allows users to view and interact the web pages and online content. So browsers act as the interface between users and the web. So when a users visit a website address or URL or uniform resource locator, the browser sends a request to the corresponding web server retrieves the data and display it in a readable format. So it says that that browser to dominant implementation. So for examples of dominant implementation of the browser, for example, the um, Google Chrome, no, the Mozilla Firefox, the Safari, and the Microsoft Edge, and etc. No, so those are the examples of web browser. No, so without web browser, no, users would have no convenient way to access or navigate the World Wide Web. Why? It is because the web is built in a computer code, no, not a human language. No? So web pages are written using programming languages, no, such as HTML or hypertext markup language. No, we will discuss it later. No, another one is the cascading style sheets. No, the styles of the design, the colors, the fonts, no, the layout. No, it is because it is built in a computer code. No, not a human language. No, another one is the JavaScript. No, so these are the machine readable, not a human readable. No, so if you try to open a website without a browser, you'd only see a row codes, no, line of symbols and text that make no sense to most users. No, so web browser, no, they also provide extensions, no, developer tools and security protocols that enhance browsing experience, and it protects the users. Okay, now let's discuss about what is web server. So web server, it is a specialized computer that stores and processes and deliver web pages to users upon request. No, it handles communication between the client, which is the browser, no, and the website data. No, so the web server, it is a powerful and specialized computer that is always connected to the internet. No, so its main job is to store, no, process, deliver web pages to the users whenever they request, no, them through their web browser. No, so we need to think server as a provider or the whole host of the website. So every time you open a site like www.google.com, your browser is actually communicating with a web server somewhere in the World Wide Web. No, so when we say store, so there are every website is made up of many types of files, HTML files, no, the CSS files, the JavaScript files, no, then the images, the videos, the documents. No, so all those files are stored on the web server's hard drive. No, just like how you save files on your own computer, but with one big difference. No, so a server makes these files publicly accessible over the internet. So for example, when you visit a site like https, no, that www.wikipedia.org, so the web server logs into the storage to find the HTML file of the homepage and send it to your browser. No, so man to siya, ga-store na to siya. Then next is the process request. No, so when you type a website address or URL or uniform resource locator into your browser, so here's what happened. No, ato siyang step by step. So the step one, so your browser sends a request to the server using a HTTP protocol. Then the server receives the request and check what the user wants, no, maybe a specific web page, no, an image or the data. So when the server, then the process, then the request, no, then mag-connect na to siya sa database to get information sa imong request. Then once the data is ready na, the server sends a response back to the browser, no, which then display it as a web page. No, another, for example, if mag-process na ang data, no. So, when you log in into your Facebook account, the web server process your username, no, then password, no, then ila din ang i-check out sa ilang database, no, and then delivers your personalized homepage. Mo na siya. Then gi-process nito siya. The next one is the delivers web page to users. The first one is this, di ba, gi-store, gi-process, then i-deliver na. So after processing the request, the web server sends the result, usually an HTML na siya, no? File plus images, no, sa scripts, sa styles, back to your browser, no? Muna na siya nga. For example, if you click on a news article link, no, so the server quickly delivers the text, the picture, and the layout to your browser, allowing you to view and it instantly. Now let's discuss about the cache or the caches. So a cache, it is a system that temporarily stores copies of web content, no? Like for example, sa images, sa page, no? To reduce load times and network traffic. No, so when a user revisit a website, no, the browser or the network can retrieve data, no, from the cache instead of requesting it again from the server. So that's the work, no, of the cache or the caches. So this makes browsing faster, no, and more efficient, no, especially from frequently accessed website. No, so caching is very important because it improves, no, sa speed niya, sa performance, the scalability, no, while also reducing the load on web servers and conserving bandwidth. No, so muna siya sa ang caches. Now let's discuss about what is internet. No, internet is very important. No, because internet, it is the foundation of the web. No, you can't open a link or any information you want if you don't have enough internet, or if you don't have internet. No, the internet, it is the interconnected global network that enables data to transfer and communicate between browsers, servers, and caches. No, it provides the physical and logical servers, no, the logical infrastructure that the World Wide Web operates on. No, so like I said earlier, internet, it is the foundation of the web. No, so without the internet, there would be no connectivity between the users, the servers, or the services. No, it allows billion of devices to exchange information instantly, forming the network we know from the web, no, if we have internet. So that's why internet, no, now it is very important, mano, because it facilitates, no, it helps to communicate people globally, no, interconnectedly, no, and it allows people from different parts of the world to connect instantly, no matter the distance, no, like if you have the internet, you can connect if directly instantly, no, if there's no like for example sa online class, no, internet is a must jud na siya, no, nga dapat naa jud kay nindot nga internet to connect or to attend class. So mo na siya, internet is very important. No, the internet is the global network of interconnectedness computer that makes the World Wide Web possible. No, it acts as a highway system that allows data to travel from one place to another. So without the internet, your browser couldn't connect to any server, no? Meaning sa website, sa video, if mag-open ka sa YouTube, dili ka maka-open if wala ka internet. No, and the online apps, no, wouldn't load at all. No, so now let's discuss what is semantic components of World Wide Web. So earlier we discussed about the structural. Now let's discuss about the semantic. So the semantic components of the World Wide Web gives meaning and structure to web information. No? While the structural components, no, like browsers, servers, internet, make the web function physically, the semantic components, no, define how data is presented, transferred, and identified in a meaningful and understandable way, no, for both humans and computer. So these are the four components. The first one is the HTTP, or the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. The next one is the HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. The third one is XML, or Extensible Markup Language. The last one is the URI, or the Uniform Resource Identifiers. Discuss first the HTTP, or the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So what is it all about? So Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP, no, it is a communication protocol that governs how data is transmitted over the World Wide Web. No, it allows web browser and web server to communicate by exchanging requests and responses. No, HTTP uses as a client server model. No, the client, no, usually a browser, sends a request for a resource, no, such as a web page or image. Then the server process the request and send back a response, no, often containing the requested data and the status code, like this if success, and like this, no, for offer not found, for the missing pages, no. So if success, 200, okay. Then if the pages is missing, no, 404 not found. So HTTP operates through text-based messages, no, which are human readable, na containing a header information about the request and the body and the data, no. So it is also defined, HTTP, it is also defined as how web pages are requested and delivered, multimedia and data are transferred, no, and different web technologies interact across the network. So that is all about HTTP. Then the importance of HTTP, no, it ensures standardized, reliable communication between all devices, no, on the web, allowing data to move seamlessly across to the globe. So that's HTTP all about. Let's talk about HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. No, so HTML, no, it is a standard language for creating web pages and web applications. No, it uses a system or tags, no, or elements to describe the structure and content of a document. No, so HTML, no, is a markup language, no, not a programming language, no. It provides the framework of a web page, no, defining where headings, the paragraphs, the links, the images, the videos, and other elements go, no. So the hypertext, no, parts, no, it means to support the links called hyperlinks, no, that connect different web pages, no, together, forming the web vast, no, interconnected network, no. Then HTML, no, gives semantic meaning to web content, no, mo na siya sa heading or header, tells the browser that it's the page header, no. It allows browser to render content visually and assistive technologies, no, to interpret the page correctly. Then HTML forms a foundation in every website on the internet. So that is HTML all about. Now let's discuss the third one, which is the XML, or Accessible Markup Language. No, so XML, it is a flexible, the descriptive markup language, no, used to store and transport data, no, in a structure and machine readable format. No, so unlike HTML, no, which defined how data is displayed, XML defines how data is structured and described. No, so XML, no, lets users and developers create their own custom tags, no, making it extensible, no, suitable for different types of data and system. No, XML, it focuses on data exchange between systems, no, not a presentation. Then XML data is stored in plain text format, making it platform independent and easy to share across the different software or web application. No, and the importance of XML, no, it used and with services, no, like SOAP or RSS feeds, no, and configuration files. No, it is also allows data interchange between different programming language system. No, it is also plays a vital role in semantic web, where data is not just readable but understandable, no, by machines, enabling intelligent web services, no, mga like search engines, no, or AI tools. No, no siya. HTML shows how data looks. No, so in summary, HTML shows how data looks, while XML explain what the data means. No, so now let's discuss about the last one, which is the Uniform Resource Identifiers, or the URI. No, so the Uniform Resource Identifiers, no, it is a unique string of characters used to identify a specific resource on the web, no, such as the web page, the image, the document, or the video. No, so the Uniform Resource Identifiers, or URI, no, it serves as the addressing system of the World Wide Web. Now, ensuring every resource can be located and accessed. No, it is the most type of URL. So the most familiar type of URI is the URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, no, which tells you where to find a resource and how to access it. No, so the importance of URI, no, it makes the web interconnected, allows links between documents, media, and data sources. No, they enable the resource identification. No, so browsers and users can retrieve and correct content. No, and the last one, why URI is very important, because they are the foundation to hyperlinking, which is essence to the World Wide Web. No? So in summary, no, so the semantic components of the World Wide Web, no, define how the web information is understood, identified, and transmitted. No, so that's all for the semantics component of the World Wide Web. No? So now let's discuss about the fundamental concept of the World Wide Web. So there are two fundamental concepts. The first one is the hypertext concept, and the second one is the hypermedia context. Now let's first discuss about what is hypertext concept. So when we say hypertext, no, it is a text that contains links. So in other term, hyperlinks, no, to other pieces of information, text, documents, or web pages. No, so these links, no, allows users to jump from one piece of information to another piece of information quickly. No, instead of reading straight linear, no, order sa like a book. No, so the tech or the term hypertext was first introduced by Ted Nelson around 1965 to describe nonlinear writing, meaning text that can connect to other text electronically. So, in simplified meaning, hypertext is what makes the World Wide Web possible. no, it let you click on a link, no, for example a blue underlined text, and instantly move to another page or web page or section, no. So instead of reading information from start to finish, you can navigate freely, no, just like exploring ideas in the web of information. So that is hypertext, no, all about. Now let's discuss about what is hypermedia, no. So hypermedia, no, from the word media, it contains, no, it refers to the connecting hypertext with other media such as graphics, no, sounds, animation, no. It involves, no, images, video, audio, and etc. No, it enhanced the version of hypertext along with the text other multimedia, no. It also becomes the part of the link, no. Hypermedia, it is a superior entity, no, which is the advanced version of the hypertext because it includes multimedia to improve the multimedia experience. So examples of hypermedia, no, like sa YouTube, no, each video may include clickable annotations, no, thumbnails, and related video links, no, or another one, online news articles, no, educational websites, no. Those are the examples of hypermedia, no, concepts and the fundamental concepts of World Wide Web. That is hypermedia all about. So, what is web browser? So, a web browser takes you anywhere on the internet. No, it retrieves information from other parts of the web, no, and it displays in your desktop, no, or in your phone, no, or your mobile device, no. So, here is the example or web browser types, no. We have the Google Chrome, the Firefox, the Opera, the Safari, the Internet Explorer, and the Microsoft Edge. So, since we already know the definition of www or World Wide Web and the web browser, no? So what are the difference between the two? No? So many students confused the www or World Wide Web and the web browser, no, but they are actually different, no. They are two very different, no. They are actually two different things, very different things, no, that work together. So when we say World Wide Web, it is a system of interlinked documents, no, and resources like web pages, no, images, videos, no, that are stored on the internet and connect through hyperlinks. Now, what is the function? So, and www, no, provides content, web pages, no, images, and videos. And the rule of the World Wide Web, no, it is the collection of all websites and web pages around the world. No, and www or World Wide Web, it is invented by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in 1989 while working at CERN. No? Then what is the examples of World Wide Web? No? Includes websites like Wikipedia, YouTube, Facebook, no, or etc. And it works on the internet, no? Without internet, hindi na siya mag-work, no? Because internet, it is the physical network of computers and services, and it is the foundation of the World Wide Web. So without internet, it couldn't access information that you want to access, no? So think of the World Wide Web as a library of full of books, no, mga websites, and it cannot be accessed without a browser. So those are the definition of World Wide Web or WWW. So now let's talk about web browser. So a web browser, it is a software application, no? Like I said earlier, it is a software application used to access, view, and interact with information on the World Wide Web. Now, if a Wide Web is a system of interlinked documents and resources, the web browser is a software application used to access, used to view, used to interact. No, so the function of the web browser, it is the act as a tool, no, or gateway to open and display that content. And its role, no, it is the application that retrieves and displays those web pages, no? And the first browser called the World Wide Web, no, later called Nexus, no, it is also created by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990. So when www invented in 1989, the web browser, no, is also created in 1990 by Tim Berners-Lee. Then, for mga examples ng mga web browser, Google Chrome, no, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, Opera, no, katong Internet Explorer, mato siya mga example, no? Then asa man ni siya mo work? Ang web browser, it's either in your computer and in your devices. Now, it is an application or a software. Now, the browser is your book reader or librarian that helps you open and read the books. No? So, if ang www, pwede nimo siya, mura siya library. So, ang iyahang kuan siya, ka ng silbi ka na punot, like ang ihabitaw haligi ang www, while ang sa browser sulod ana niya, no, unsa may nasa library o mga books, no, di ba? Then the browser cannot display without anything connecting to the www, no, and it's all, and if mag-work pa na siya, it is because of the internet. Then if you have internet, no, fast internet, then you can access anything you want information, no, sa web browser. That's all for my part. So thank you for listening. I hope you gained something from my discussion. And now I will give the floor to the next reporter. Please help me welcome Miss Lovely Jane Hinumbaga to discuss about the web technology. So thank you. God bless.
Good day, everyone. Now, let's proceed to web technologies. So, which are the foundations of everything we do on internet. So, web technologies are tools, languages, and systems used to build, operate website and web applications. So, they allow people to create, access, and share information easily online, from simple website to complex platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Google, Instagram, and etc. So in short, web technologies are what make the internet interactive, dynamic, and user-friendly. They are the reason we can browse pages, watch videos, shop online, and communicate instantly. Next slide is the three core web technologies. What are the three core web technologies? First, we have the HTML. Second, CSS. Third is JS. So, there are three main core of web technologies that form the foundation of every website. First, we have the HTML, which is hypertext markup language. So it gives structure or content. Next is CSS, which is cascading style sheets or cascading style sheets. So it adds designs and visual styling. Next is a JavaScript. So it adds interactive interactivity and behavior. So, ang kaning tulo is nag-work siya together like team. Kay if sa body pa ni siya sa tao, ang HTML maoy nagstands for skeleton, which is structure. Ang CSS is kanang gastan siya as skin and style, which is appearance. Ang JavaScript is gastand siya as the brain, which is interactivity and logic. So, without one of them, if wala ang usa nila, ang websites would either be look plain, like no structures or no function properly. Next, we have HTML. So, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So, first bullet is give structures or layout. So, ang hypertext or markup language gives a structures or layout. Next is provides the foundation and structures of every web page. Next is uses tags to define elements such as headings, paragraphs, images, and links. Next is work like blueprint that tells the browser what to display. Next, without HTML, no content would appear on the web page. So, it uses tags. HTML is the foundations of all web page. So it uses tags and elements to describe the content and layout of a web page, such as headings, paragraphs, links, and images. So HTML acts like a blueprint that tells the browsers what to display. Without HTML, there would be no visible content, no text, no images, no links. Like just a blank page ra siya. Next, we have the CSS. So, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. So, first bullet is add style and visual design. Next is control the appearance, design, and layout of web pages. Next is defines colors, fonts, margins, backgrounds, and positioning. Next is separates content, HTML, from design, CSS, for easier maintenance. So, last bullet is makes website visually and attractive, organized, and professional. So, CSS or Cascading Style Sheets is responsible for the appearance, layout, and visual design of a website. So, while ang HTML kay nag-define siya as a element exists, ang CSS defines how they look, like the colors, fonts, spacing, background, and alignment. So, CSS separates the content HTML from the design CSS, so making websites easier to maintain and update. So it transforms plain HTML pages into a beautiful, professional-looking website. The last three core web technologies is a JavaScript. So JavaScript is first bullets adds interactions and functionality. Next, add behavior, logic, and interactivity to websites. Next is make pages dynamic, corresponds to user actions. Next is common uses. So common uses is display pop-up messages, creating image slider or animations, and validating forms. So JavaScript is what makes a web page dynamic and interactive. So it allows the website to respond user actions like clicking buttons, filling out forms, or moving the mouse. So with JavaScript, we can create a pop-up messages, image sliders or animations, form validations, real-time updates like in Facebook or Gmail. JavaScript JavaScript is like the brain and heart of a websites. So it gives life and intelligence to web pages. So now let's proceed to Web 1.0 or read-only static web. So this was the very first generation of a World Wide Web, the earliest form of the internet that most of us know today. So in this stage, websites were mainly used for reading and viewing information. Users could not yet interact, comment, or contribute to content. Web 1.0. So, Web 1.0 is considered the old versions of internet, and it only allowed people to read information online. So it's called read only because users could only view the content, not change or interact with it. So during this stage, the web connected pages through hyperlinks, allowing people to navigate from one page to another. So as we know that the hyperlinks is, if you click that links, kay maadto gani ka sa another links. That is the hyperlink or another web. So websites were created using HTML and designs using tables to position and align elements of the page. So the web at this time served as information portal, meaning it was mainly a place where people could find and read information, much like a digital library. So next is the web. Next is the first bullet is mostly read only. Users could only view informations but not interact. So this means that in Web 1.0, people could only read or view the content posted on website. They couldn't participate or respond to the website. So website acted like digital newspapers or brochures. So users could read article, product details, or announcements, but kanang dili sila maka-leave og comments, dili sila maka-send og messages, or dili sila maka-contribute og own ideas kay kanang igo ra man sila makabasa, but they can't leave comment, dili sila maka-comment if insay ganahan nila nga i-comment ana nga website. In short, the communication was on way from website's creator to the viewer. Next is focused mainly on company homepages and static website. So during the Web 1.0, most websites were owned by companies or organizations. So their main goal was to present information about their products, services, or mission, not to engage with customers. So these pages were static, meaning the content stayed the same for long periods and had to be updated manually by a webmaster. So for example, kanang a company website might list its address, contact info, and product catalog, but you couldn't order directly or send feedback online. So makakita ra ka but dili ka makames sa ilahang website kay ilarang give ang information, ang like address, ilang contact number, kanang ang about sa ilang product, but dili ka maka kanang directly nila og kanang message. For example, kanang diba sa TikTok or sa kanang Shopee kay maka-message ta nila, maka-feedback ta online, but some of the website kay naagani kanang website is dili ka maka-comment, dili ka maka-message nila, dili ka maka-order through messages or through sa website nga ilang gi-create kanang nga maka-message ka dayon dira, maka-feedback ka dira online sa ilang gibuhat nga website, but kanang need pa ka mo call nila, kanang mutawag nila, like imong kwaon ilang contact info to call them if unsay imong order. Kay kanang ang ana nga time is ang website is kanang sila ra ang sila ra maka-edit, but ang webmaster ay maka-edit. Kita nga mga viewers lang or kita nga mga customer sa ilahang product is dili ta makasend nilag message through call lang ta. Next is the World Wide Web was divided into usable directories for easier browsing. So back then, there were no powerful search engines like Google yet. So instead, websites were organized into directories like digital folders that group similar sites together by category. So, a famous example of this is katong Yahoo. Yahoo is a directory where you could browse through topics like news, sports, or education. So this made it easier for users to find website they wanted, even though the web was small and simple compared to today. Next bullet is served as an information portal where users could read but not contribute. So during Web 1.0, sites acted as kanang information portal, which means they were gateways to content, a place to get informations rather than to share it. So users kay maka-access articles, company details, or online encyclopedias, but kanang wala sila way to modify or upload anything. So for example, kanang if you visited news website, so you could only read the news but not post your opinion or start discussion thread. So this shows how passive the user's rule was in Web 1.0. Next bullet is started with a simple idea of putting content for people to access online. So the main goal of Web 1.0 was to collect and publish information online so that anyone could access it from anywhere in the world. So it wasn't designed for interactions or entertainment, just for sharing content publicly. Developers and organizations were simply focused on getting information online, creating the foundations of what would later become the modern web. So, this simple idea of making knowledge available globally is what made Web 1.0 revolutionary at its time. Next slide, we have the example of Web 1.0 and disadvantages. So now let's focusing first the examples of Web 1.0. First, we have the mp3.com. So mp3.com was one of the earliest music websites during the Web 1.0 era. So it allowed users to listen or to download music tracks, but they couldn't upload or share their own. So this is a good example of how Web 1.0 worked. Users were just consumers of content, not contributors. So all the music and informations were controlled by the website owners, showing the one-way natures of Web 1.0. Now, second is homepage. So a homepage during Web 1.0 is nagserve siya as a digital broker or brochure or introductions page for a person, organizations, or company. So it contained static informations like about us section, contact details, and sometimes a few pictures. So unlike modern website today, this homepage didn't change often and didn't have interactive features such as comment sections or chat boxes. So they were purely informational. Visitors could only read and move on. So next is directories. So directories were websites that listed other websites in organized categories. So, ang popular example in this directories is ang katong Yahoo. So, directory where users could browse links arranged by topics like news, sports, or education. So, search engines weren't very advanced yet. So, people relied on directories to find what they needed. So, this shows how Web 1.0 focused on the navigations and access to informations rather than the personalizations or interactions. Next is a page views. So, page views during the Web 1.0 kay websites often displayed a page counter that showed how many visitors had viewed a page. So, this is one of the few ways to measure activity or popularity at that time. So, it didn't involve user engagement. It simply tracked visits. So, it's another reminder then that users were observers, not participants. Last is a HTML or portal. So, HTML or hypertext markup language is the basic coding structure of web pages. So, these websites were called HTML portals, and they often acted as gateways to collections of links, articles, or media. So, they didn't have interactive features or dynamic content since technologies like JavaScript and CSS were still limited or just emerging. Nag-emerge pa ang JavaScript and ang CSS. So, everything had to be manually coded and updated by the website owners. Now, let's proceed to the disadvantages of Web 1.0. So, first, we have read-only content. So, the main limitations of 1.0 was that it was read-only. So, users could only consume content. They couldn't edit. So, they only kanang read that content but they can't kanang comment or upload their own material. So, this made the web more like a digital encyclopedia than the place for social interaction. Next is a limited user interaction. So, there were no features like forums, chat systems, or social media platforms. Users had no way to interact with the content or with each other. So, communication was strictly one-directional from the creator to the audience. So, limited ra ang maka-interact or limited user interaction, like dili jud whole makoy makakuan ana. Next is the lack of web standards. So during the 1.0, there were no established design rules or consistent coding practices. So each website looked and functions differently depending on how it was built. So because of this, some sites displayed poorly or inconsistently across different browsers, making web browsing less user-friendly. Lastly is one-way communication. So communications in Web 1.0 was one-way. So from the website owner to the reader. There were no comment sections, messaging system, or feedback forms. So this made the early web more like a digital notice board rather than the community space. Only website creators had a voice while users were silent observers. So one-way ra iyang communications ang creator ra sa website, but ang mga users ang gagamit wala, silent ra sila, silent observer, and kanang dili sila maka-comment it because the websites kanang ang voice ra is ang kanang creator. So now that's it for my part. Thank you so much for listening. Now I'll be giving the floor to the next reporter. May I call on Mr. Binger Pacolan Jr. to continue the discussion. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you for that, Miss Ginombaga. And since we are done with the Web 1.0, to proceed, this is Sergio, and we will talk about the Web 2.0, or Read-Write Interactive Web. So, Web 2.0 is the term given to describe a second generation of the World Wide Web. It refers to the features of the World Wide Web which allow people to collaborate and share information online. It also provides a number of online tools and platforms which are now defining how people share their perspectives, opinions, thoughts, and experiences. This is what we commonly use in our time, where the internet evolved from being just a one place to read information into a more interactive and collaborative space. Unlike the early web, the 1.0, which focused only on viewing content, Web 2.0 allows users to actively participate by sharing their thoughts, opinions, and experiences online. It gives users the freedom to contribute and even control their own data, making the internet a more dynamic and engaging environment. So in Web 2.0, it is a platform that gives users the possibility to control their own data. So here we have the freedom. So the users have the freedom on what are the things that they want to put in that website, no, or particularly account, no. So this is about user-generated content and the read-write web. When we say read-write web, no, people are consuming as well as contributing information. No? How? Through blogs or sites. And Web 2.0 also allows the users to interact with a page known as the dynamic page. So instead of just reading a page, the user may be able to comment or create a user account. So again, the main idea of Web 2.0 is it is user-generated content. This means that people are not only consuming information, but they are also creating and sharing it, no, through blogs, social media, and online communities. And users can post comments. They can also create accounts or upload videos and interact with others. These websites, again, are called dynamic pages, no, as I said a while ago, because their content changes based on user activity or preferences. So it allowing real-time interaction, no, and communication. To be able to understand it well, we have here an example of Web 2.0. So first is social networking. When we say social networking, it is the use of online platforms and websites to connect, communicate, and share information with other people or groups, just like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and I know there are so many online platforms that we use today that connect us, no, from other people. Next is blogs. So these are websites that share information or personal reflection through regularly updated posts, arranged from newest to oldest. So just like in WordPress, Blogger, and Tumblr, which are not really familiar to us because Filipinos often use Facebook and YouTube for their blogs, no? But at least we know that those websites exist. We also have the wikis, no? I know we are familiar with this because these are the websites that allow us or allow users to collaboratively create, edit, and manage contents directly through a web browser. Example of this are the Wikipedia, Wikibooks, Wiktionary, and Wikicode. The third one is the video sharing sites. These are websites that let people upload and share video clips with the public and at large or to invited guests, no? Example of this is Facebook, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and so on. Alright, now let's proceed to the key features of Web 2.0. First is Foxonomy. So when we say Foxonomy, it allows users to categorize and classify or arrange information using freely chosen keywords. So just like tagging, no? So yes, this is so true. For instance, in our activity of DocVon, so where we need to put hashtags in our FB posts, the hashtag there is not just for nothing or not just for design. It is used to categorize posts, because if they search the hashtag Bangon Cebu, they can directly see our post because it is already categorized using the hashtag. That's an example of tagging. Next is rich user interface. When we say rich user interface, content is dynamic and is responsive to users' input. An example of this would be a website that shows local content. The next one is user participation. The owner of a website is not the only one who is able to put content. No? Others are able to place a content on their own by means of comments, reviews, and evaluation. So just like on stores like Amazon, people can leave comments about the product they are selling. The last one is long tail. So when we say long tail, the services are offered on demand rather than on a one-time purchase. So this is synonymous to subscribing to a data plan that charges you for the amount of time you spend on the internet, or a data plan that charges you for the amount of bandwidth you use. Just like on PLDT, we are paying monthly to be able to access the internet. And that's it for my part. Thank you so much for listening. Now I'll be giving the virtual floor to the next reporter, Miss Zainal Jane Lima Lima, to continue the discussion.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Kakulan. Before we dive into our next topic, let's have a quick recall. In your previous discussions, you already learned about the Web 1 and Web 2, right? Web 1 was known as the read-only web. It was the earliest version of the internet where users could only view or read information, but there was very little interaction. You could think of it like reading a digital newspaper. You can see the information, but you can't respond or interact with it. Then came Web 2, also known as the read-write web. This generation introduced social media platforms, blogs, wikis, and other interactive sites. Users were no longer just readers. They became creators and contributors. You could post, comment, share, and connect, just like what we do now on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Now, the internet continues to evolve, and this brings us to our focus for today, Web 3. So what exactly is Web 3? Web 3 is the third generation of the web that focuses on making the internet more connected, open, and intelligent. This achieved through technologies such as the semantic web, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Unlike Web 2, where humans mostly interact and create data, Web 3 aims to make the web itself understand information, allowing systems, machines, and devices to process content in a way that makes sense. This means the internet will not just store data but actually understand what the data means and use it intelligently. Web 3 was actually suggested by John Markoff, a journalist from the New York Times. He used this name to describe the next phase of the web's evolution, where information becomes more meaningful and systems become smarter. So when you hear Web 3, think of it as a smarter, more intuitive version of the web we use today, where technology begins to think, analyze, and predict like humans do. The next one, it says that in this generation, applications on both web and mobile will be upgraded with more advanced features. It still applies the same principles as Web 2, that is, two-way interaction between users and systems, but now with an intelligent twist. For example, instead of simply chatting with a customer service agent online, you might talk with an AI chatbot that understands your problem and gives helpful, human-like responses. It's like the internet is evolving from being interactive to being intelligent. The next one says, Web3 will make the web more connected, open, and intelligent through various technologies. It will use semantic web technologies, distributed databases like blockchain, natural language processing, machine learning, and machine reasoning, and even autonomous agents. Programs that can make decisions and act independently. Imagine your digital assistant like Siri or Alexa or Google, not just answering your questions, but anticipating your needs, like suggesting the best study time based on your schedule. That's the goal of Web3. So make the web think for you. Now, let's talk about one important concept, the semantic web. What is semantic web? It says that this provides a framework that allows data to be shared, reused, and understood by machines. It helps deliver web content that specifically targets the user's needs. Like, for instance, when you search for best laptop for students, the semantic web helps the system understand that you're a student looking for a budget-friendly, school-use laptop, not just any laptop. That is semantic web. The next one, in simple terms, Web3 is a web of data. That means that the internet is no longer just a collection of web pages. It becomes a network of interconnected information that machines can analyze and relate to one another. It's like connecting the dots between all the data available online so that the systems can draw smarter conclusions and give you better results. The next one, Web3 aims to change the web into language that computers can read and categorize, not just humans. Before, websites were made for people to understand. Now, they're being built so that machines can interpret the meaning of information. This allows your devices and applications to collaborate intelligently, like your smartphone reminding you of your math class because it knows your schedule, your location, and your habits. Now that we've understood what Web3 is and how it works, let's explore the different types of websites that exist across all generations of the web, from Web 1 to Web 3. These categories will help us see how websites serves different purposes and audiences, and how they become smarter and more interactive over time. The first one is e-commerce website. An e-commerce website allows people to buy and sell products or services online. Like examples include Shopee, Lazada, or Shein. These websites have shopping carts, product listings, and secure payment systems. In Web3, these platforms may use AI to recommend systems you're likely to buy or crypto-based payments for better security. The second one is business website. A business website represents a company's online presence, showing information about its products, services, and contact details. Like for example, when you visit Globe Telecom's website, you can read about their plans, promos, and customer services. In the Web3 era, these sites may use chatbots or AI assistants that respond instantly to customer concerns. The third one is entertainment website. These websites are created to entertain users through music, videos, movies, or games. Like example, it includes YouTube, Netflix, Spotify, and others. With Web3, entertainment websites can now recommend content based on your preferences. For instance, Netflix suggesting shows you enjoy based on what you've previously watched. That's the feature of entertainment website. The fourth one is portfolio website. A portfolio website showcases a person's skills, works, or projects often used by artists, photographers, and freelancers. Think of it as your online resume. For example, if one of you creates a website to show your math teaching demonstrations, lesson plans, or research works, that would be your portfolio website. The fifth one is media website. A media website publishes news, articles, and updates about current events. Examples include ABS-CBN News, Inquirer.net, and GMA.net. In Web3, these sites can use AI to summarize news or provide personalized updates depending on your own interests. The sixth one is called educational website. Educational websites provide learning materials, courses, and study resources. The known example of this one are Khan Academy, Coursera, or even our university's learning management system, or LMS. In the Web3 setting, these platforms may use AI tutors or adaptive learning, adjusting lessons based on how fast or slow a student learns. The seventh one is called personal website. A personal website is created by an individual to share experiences, hobbies, or personal blogs. For example, someone might create a blog about their college journey as a math major, sharing study tips or reflections. Web3 can make these sites more engaging through interactive storytelling or voice-activated navigation. The last one is called wiki or community forum website. These websites allow users to collaborate, edit, and share information. Examples include Wikipedia and Reddit. In Web3, these communities could become decentralized, meaning the content is managed by users collectively, not by a single authority, creating a more open and democratic internet space. To conclude everything, the evolution of the World Wide Web, from Web 1 static pages to Web 2's interactive platforms and now to Web 3's intelligent systems, shows how technology constantly adapts to human needs. Each generation has made the internet faster, smarter, and more personal, transforming how we live, learn, and communicate. Web3 in particular represents a future where machines understand and respond to users in more meaningful ways. As future educators, understanding these changes helps us prepare our students for a more digital and intelligent world. The web's progress reminds us that innovation never stops. It continues to shape the way we connect and share knowledge every day.